Greetings, my friends. The time is upon us once again. Once more onto the breach, dear friends. Bury us all among Robert Jordan's dead. This week, Rafe Dudkin's Wheel of Prime, Episode 5, Damane, the review. Wah, 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 wah. So, this is going to be my short review. Again, people like Night's Watch, the Sparrow, the Questioners, the Whitecloaks, multiple people from the Whitecloaks have plenty of exhaustive breakdown reviews. I'm just sharing with you my thoughts, the things that come to mind when I watch this episode that are the most annoying, generally speaking. Oh, there's one mild positive, right? So to borrow a phrase from a paraphrase from one of Negative's album titles, this is the least worst of episode of the Crab Show season. There was one mildly okay subplot in it. So Varen Sedai, and I'll start with that one. Varen Sedai returned to Tar Valon, even though it's not really Varen Sedai, it's Vendane. They replaced Vendane with Varen. Book Varen, it's kind of she's kind of like a unassuming, like, she's a bit like an unassuming Sherlock Holmes. Like she's a genius. She's always investigating stuff, always studying stuff, but you never really know what she's doing. She's always asking little questions or being very observant. You know, like you don't know she's learning stuff, but she does. And then she comes out with her knowledge, you know. So this show depicts her more like Angela Lansbury's character in Murder, She Wrote. So on one hand, the show correctly attempts to convey Varen's nature, right? That she's an investigator, she's inquisitive, she's always trying to find things out. Then they incorrectly turn it into a caricature, right? So remember this. Varen, she's hunting Dark Friends, the Black Aja, and the Forsaken. Yet the tone of her hunt is lighthearted and comedic. She literally gets tipsy with her fellow Brown Aja members while on the hunt. And for some reason, I think they were using her little story arc as the comedic sub arc to lighten the tone or whatever. Even though she's hunting Dark Friends and the Black Aja and the Forsaken. So next up, in a misbegotten mismatch of proper nouns from Robert Jordan's work and bad fantasies from Rafe Jordan's id, Leandrin continues to remain the main character. There's a graph floating around, Salty Texas he has it, that Leandrin by far has the most dialogue of any character in the show. Of all the characters Dudkins could have mainlined in his blatant abandonment of the actual story from the Wheel of Time, it completely boggles my mind or anyone else as to why Leandrin, a character who starts as a B-level villain, right, and finishes as a C-level villain who's basically an afterthought, who's so minor that neither Jordan nor Sanderson ever bothered to write what happens to her in the books. So that's how minor she is, right? And yes, she's essentially the main character right now. Now, essentially, she's in this episode, she's done her book event. The significant thing she did in the books, she's done it in this episode just passed, right? And she should disappear into being briefly mentioned as a side character before she fades into obscurity around the 5th or 6th season when they adapt, allegedly, like the 6th or 7th book. So, let's move on. A next thing to address, the excessively long fingernails that we see on the Sean Chan nobility. So, members of the Blood are supposed to have a somewhat longer lacquered fingernails, right? We've seen this styling in other shows and in real world cultures before, okay? To the point, however, they're supposed to be practical. They're not supposed to be so long you can't use your hand. Why? For example, High Lord Turok, who we meet in the last episodes, he's supposed to have the first 2 fingers on each of his hands, these two, a little longer and blue lacquer, right? But the reason they're supposed to be practical, High Lord Turok is a blade master, okay? In fact, book spoilers, he has a battle with Rand, which is the first circumstance where Rand demonstrates that Rand himself is a blade master, right? All of the members of the Blood aren't just like shown ability. They're all supposed to be like elite warriors and whatnot, okay? This show is taking the long fingernails some sort of weird soap opera-esque impractical extreme. Now, I guess the last point I want to address is like, why is this crap show going out of the way every episode by episode to make Shorain evil? I mean, I guess Dudkin thinks he's depicted as the hard woman making the hard choices, It doesn't come across that way, my friends. In this episode, she literally has the woman that she forces to come with them as they're fleeing from Lanfear via horseback. Makes her become a decoy to lead Lanfear on as the woman continues on some path while Shorain takes Rand back to Karen, right? So, mind you, and this is more evil, knowing that the allegedly most dangerous of Forsaken is pursuing her and Rand, she returns to her family in Karhane. So those are my brief thoughts, basically. And this show is often mind-numbingly bad, but episodes like this, like when it's just sort of fan fiction type stuff, it's when you feel most strongly about the lost opportunity that Wheel of Prime was. This episode's a 1 out of 10 for that mildly okay subplot with Varen doing the investigation. Thanks for watching my video. Smash the like button if you liked it. I see a bunch of you watching it, but only not a bunch of you liking it. So if you dislike it. Hit the dislike so I know I have to improve. But anyway, hit this like button. Comment down below if you have questions for me about this video. Please share the video if you found it worthwhile. I'm Matt. It's been episode of Unbearable 73. Have a nice day, and I am out of here.